starters, we're going to go ahead and click on the Unity icon on the desktop. And once that opens, we're going to click on File in the top left corner and click New Project and rename, replace the old name with whatever we want. So here I'm going to use pong_game for the name of the project. I'm going to ensure that it's not going to import anything by leaving those all unchecked, and then click Create to create the project. And it's going to reboot Unity real quick. Here's a blank project. Give an overview. There's the console, the assets, project assets, and the hierarchy on the left. In the hierarchy, we're going to click on Create and then select Cube. We're going to start building our top wall. You can move things by dragging the arrows there, but it's much easier to just manually adjust the position by typing values in. So 0, 0, 0 is a good start. It sets it right in the center. But we're going to set the Y value. No, we're not. We're going to set that later. Cool. Select the cube by clicking on it anytime you lose it, and you can zoom by scrolling in and out on your mouse. And we're going to set the scale X value to 30. We want our game space to be 30 wide. And make sure everything else is set to 1 there. And then we're going to set the Y value for position to 7.5. And see, it's not showing up in our scene, so we're going to select the camera and set our Z value. Now we're going towards us, so we want to set it so that we can see everything that's going to be on the screen. So it looks like -15. We're going to do it, -17? Sure, -17. That'll do it. And that sets things up on the screen pretty nicely. Now let's go ahead and right-click on the cube in the hierarchy and duplicate it by clicking Duplicate, and change the Y value of either one of them really to -7.5 for position. And that's in the inspector. So now we have one at 7.5 and -7.5. So now if we don't have any physics materials on either of these, so we're going to select Assets, Import Package, Physics Materials. And that'll open up a window that has everything checkmarked already, and click Import in the bottom right of that window. So now, if you look under Project Assets, you can see the different materials we have that we can apply to objects in the scene. And here we're going to go to the Box Collider, click on the little circle next to the Materials field, and double-click Bouncy for each of these. That will give them a bouncy material. Alright, now click on Create again, and we're going to create the ball, so click on Sphere. And under Materials, let's see, for the Sphere Collider, it doesn't have anything there. So we want to click on the small circle there and click Ice. And we're going to make sure that the position is 0, 0, 0 for the ball. So everything checks out. Now we're going to click on the sphere and click on Add Component in the bottom of the inspector. Click on Physics and then Rigid Body. That will add a rigid body to our sphere. We're going to we're going to show what happens when we click play now. And now we have the bouncy wall at the bottom making it bounce. So that's weird because we don't want gravity in Pong, so we're going to unclick Use Gravity on the rigid body of the sphere, and that makes it stay still or not initially move, which is good. We're also going to set the constraints We don't want it to move in and out of the screen, so we're going to freeze the Z position, and we're also going to freeze all of the rotation because we don't want any weird rotation going on with this sphere in the middle, because that's going to be the ball for Pong. Now we're going to click on Create in the Hierarchy again and create a capsule. This is going to be our enemy. It's going to be one of the paddles. This particular one's going to be the enemy. And we're going to set the X position to -15, the X scale to 0.5, and let's see, I'm going to take a look at it. We see it has this collider on it that is a little wide. So let's see. Oh, and it's a little short, so we want to set the Y value for scale to 1.5. There we go. We want to set the physics material for the collider. Going to set it to bouncy, or not, whatever. We're going to set the radius to 0.25. That will match our 0.5 scale width. We do that by clicking on the radius field and typing in 0.25. There it goes. Great. And we zoom in, we can see that it's matching pretty well. We don't have those outer bounds there. Alright, we're going to set the material later. So we go ahead and duplicate the capsule and set one of them to a value, X position value of 15. There we can see it sitting right along the edge there. So we're going to rename the left capsule to enemy by clicking on it, and then in the inspector the top field is the name, and once you type it in you need to hit enter to save it. And then we're going to rename the other capsule to player. Same process. So our game field looks good. You can see in the camera preview down in the bottom right there. So we're going to go ahead and create a directional light. Hierarchy, create directional light. We're going to set all of the position values to 0 and all of the rotation values to 0. Oh, sorry. The Z value for position is -5. There we go. So that's what the game will look like with the lighting. If you click on Scene or Game at the top, you can see what it's going to look like. Alright, now click on the enemy. And we're going to click Add Component. Click on New Script, and this is very important. We're going to title it Pong AI. Make sure the language is set to C#. Create and add. Now you're going to double click on that Pong AI, and it's going to open up MonoDevelop. And here we're going to delete this code here that is written here, and we're going to paste over it the Pong AI text. And this will give the code for the AI, or for the enemy. So just copy, highlight, and paste. And then save, go to File and click Save All. And here you can either move MonoDevelop to the background or X out of it, doesn't matter. And this requires it to track the ball. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on enemy and then click and hold on sphere over there in the hierarchy, drag it over to the ball field and release it, and that will attach the ball to that script, which is what we want. Now to set up the script for the player, we're going to click on the player, click Add Component down at the bottom of the inspector, and click New Script. This one is very important. The naming of it is going to be Movement. Make sure it's in C#, and then double click on it once you add it. And here, make sure at the top you have movement selected, and then we're going to open up the movement text file and paste paste that file into this new script here. So there's the movement file. I'm gonna click and drag to copy it. Control C. We're going to open MonoDevelop back up and Control V to paste it in. Easy as that. Then File and Save All. Excellent. So that has the movement script. Now if we press play, we can press up and down on the keyboard, the up-down arrows, and that will move our paddle. So that's really good. But the ball is not moving, so we're going to have to go in there and add a script to the ball. So make sure you unclick that play button. And ignore that. Null reference exceptions are always fun. Now click on the sphere and go down to Add Component and New Script. And we're going to name this one Start Direction. Make sure it's in C# and create an add. Then double click on it to open MonoDevelop back up. And again, we're going to delete this and paste the text document's code over it. That's startDirection.txt. We're going to copy it here. And paste it over. There we go. File, Save All. And we can go ahead and close this down. We're done with it. Alright, now if we, let's see. Now if we press play, everything kind of works, except that ball doesn't bounce. Pretty bad. It just kind of sat there and slid off the paddle. We don't want that. So we need to set the paddle's material. This is the portion that was missed earlier. We need to set the material and the capsule colliders for each of the paddles to bouncy. and that will fix the problem we just had. Here, let's see. Boom. Alright, so now we have a functioning game of Pong. Pretty handy. You can see the scores in the top left and right. One of the scripts added that. And it goes faster and faster until someone misses, and click to start a new round. Everything's good. So this is how the game will play out. And everything's wonderful. And functionally, I believe the game is complete. At this point, all we need to do now is build it. As soon as I finish playing. There we go. Start new round, and we're going to play again. Don't know why I included this, but here it is. Gameplay, it's great. There. And you have that tricky move of hitting the edge of the, having the ball hit the edge of the paddle and give it a wicked bounce. It's helpful for trying to win. And there we go, game over. You can click new game or quit. Quit in the tester does not work. Just part of the code, does not work in the testing. But it does work when you build the game, so that's good. And ignore those errors, they don't matter. So we're going to click on File and click Save Scene, and we're going to name it Game Scene. Pretty creative. Click on Save. And test this out real quick. We're going to lose on purpose to get the game to finish real quick. There was actually an error that the scene needed to be saved as an asset. So now when you click on new game, it works. Everything's wonderful. Great. So we're going to go ahead and get out of there. And we're done. So we're going to click on File, Build and Run. And we're going to make sure that it's set for whatever you want it set for, PC. I have mine set for Windows, but you have a lot of different options that you can use. We're going to add the scene by clicking Add Current, just like that, and build and run. And this is going to be the name of the executable. And you can name it whatever you'd like. Pong test is what I named this one. Click on Save. It will build, and then you can run it. And set your screen size, and click on Run, and the game starts up. And that's it. Enjoy.